Here with you. Yep. Hello, good day, everyone. It's nice to be back here with every one of us. It's the channel, as we know, Kate Inspires, where we get to a community of people who inspire themselves to become financially free and also fulfill purpose. Because, like we always say on this channel, if you fulfill purpose, you are fulfilled in the place of purpose and you are not financially free, what will happen is that by the time the effects, the issues of finances start eating you left, right, center, we get depressed and then you feel like there's more to do about your life. And then if you become financially free and you are not fulfilled in terms of purpose, if you have all the money in the world, but you are not fulfilled, you will become frustrated because things are not just going, there should be more than you are doing right now. So in a bid to balance, to bring a leveler to that to the place of purpose and the place of finance. That is why we created Create Inspire. So we inspire ourselves to become what? To become people who go after purpose, who are fulfilling their purposes, and also at the same time becoming those who become financially free. So that when the financial issues start coming up, when financial demands start coming up, we can easily meet them. And in the place of purpose, we can feel fulfilled as though we have been able to do that for which we were sent to this side of the divide, and we can go home someday and rest. And today we'll be discussing something powerful, the power of leverage. The power of leverage. We've been talking about your uniqueness for some weeks now, and today we want to talk about how you can win this year, 2025 in particular, by capitalizing on what we call leverage. What is the power of what? Of leverage. I'm sure you must have heard a couple of statements like he was able to leverage on this and that. That was why I was able to get and that done. Had I not leveraged on the fact that my mom was this, I wouldn't have been able to get this done. Had she not had the leverage over him, she would not have been the one who was selected for the position. So it means in one way or the other, leverage is something that adds up as an advantage to the individual who is using it, and helps that individual get a certain level of results, a certain degree of progress that naturally he or she might not have been able to get. So, what then is leverage? How powerful is this thing called leverage? And that I, as an individual, can begin to maximize the power of this thing called leverage so that I can fulfill my purpose through it and also become financially free. Because as an individual, I need something that gives me an upper hand that can help me get better results than I am getting presently. Something that can make my tax get more visibility, something that can give what I do a better advantage, something that can help me serve more people, that can help me reach more people, something that can help me get to my goal even faster. That is what a leverage is. So, how powerful is leverage? And how many individuals have even come to recognize the place of leverage? Because I scan through so many lives and then I just check people around me, people in my community, and then people at the globe at large. And then I realize only very few individuals have realized how powerful this thing called leverage is. And only those few are using that tool called leverage to achieve results that either those seems impossible for others to achieve. But before I go any further, I would like to give us an illustration that will help us get a better picture of what this thing called leverage is. So let's assume that there are two students, two candidates who are seated presently for an examination, a mathematical exam for that matter. So these two candidates are seated and they are about to write the final exams for this mathematics subject. We all know mathematics has a whole lot of calculations in it, and especially when it comes to the final exams that are majorly set by external bodies, you have everybody dealing with the same set of questions, and you must be doing one or two. You are working majorly with numbers. So let's assume that candidate A over the years, for a student who has been in the college over the years, two pupils in the college over the years, we know by now they do so much well. I'm sorry, I'm seeing a connection lagging from my distance. Okay. So as I was saying, you could have two good students in the same school. One is doing well averagely in school, but the other one, when it comes to calculations, that is where it stands out. So these two students are in the examination hall. Candidate A, let's use A for the first candidate, is the one who is more smarter when it comes to calculations. He works, he calculates with great speed, he knows just what he wants to solve. And candidate B is an averagely good student when it comes to calculations. Why? Because by default, this student is also brilliant, but in calculations, his strength is not there. So he's averagely good. So we have candidate A and candidate B, both seated for this examination that determines who gets this particular slot we are looking for the best student for. And the person who is going to grade them does not know them. I'm sure you know by now that external examinations are marked by external individuals who don't get to know which student is which. Now, candidate A, who is the smartest one, who is more smart when it comes to calculation, it was when he got on the seat in the exam hall that he realized that he forgot his four-figure table at home as well as his calculator. Candidate B, who is an averagely good student when it comes to calculations, is well seated there with all his materials, all his writing materials intact, including his four-figure table and what? And his calculator. I'm sure you know where I'm driving out at already. If there are two candidates and one has proven to be smarter and better, and the one who is smarter and better already has does not have his four-figure table and calculator with him, and the one who is lagging behind in the place of calculations has his four-figure table and calculator, we both know out of the 60 questions they have to solve in, let's say, an hour, probably an hour or so, for every 2 minutes candidate A will spend for every 2 minutes candidate A will spend in getting one question solved, candidate B, who has the calculator and four-figure table with him, will solve probably 6 questions. Let's assume he uses 20 seconds to punch in the questions and get his results. Don't forget, he's not a dullard. He's just averagely, he's not just as smart when it comes to calculations as the other person. Candidate A, who is smarter in calculations, knows the formulas, he knows what to do, and so he manually begins to solve each questions. By the time the hour will be over, when it pencils up, the chances that candidate A has solved all 60 questions are slim. Why? Because now he's spending about 2 minutes on each question and he has just maybe an hour to answer all. So he probably just solved maybe 30. And don't forget, in the midst of the manual calculations, there are places where we make some tiny errors that will make his answers wrong. For instance, where he was meant to write one, he put two, and by the time he did the multiplication, it all went haywire. Candidate B, on the other hand, who is busy just pressing his calculator and getting the things done, will finish his questions in, let's say, 30 minutes, have time to review all those questions, and then have extra time to put himself back together and submit. At the end of the day, candidate A, who is the better student in terms of calculations, we have little or no results to show. Probably out of the 30 was able to solve, was able to get 25, being a brilliant student in terms of calculations. Candidate B, who had time to solve all 60 questions, knowing that he's just an averagely good student, might be able to hit 40 out of the 60. So even though candidate A, in terms of ratio, was able to get 25 out of, and candidate B missed out on 20 questions that out of the 60 is solved. The one with the better result at the end of the day will be candidate B. Why? Because candidate B overall now has 40 over 60, and candidate A, who is the mathematician in the house, has 25 over 60. That is how leverage works in the issues of life. In the field of life, in the game of life, the one with the leverage is the one with the result. So if you are going about life and all you are doing is, well, I can get this done with my head, I can use my head knowledge, I am a smart student, I know what I am doing. Yes, you will be a smart student, but your results will not add up to those who are doing averagely than you are doing. And it is not because they are smarter than you, but it is simply because the formula, the process you are going through, the route you are going through to get the results you need is way slower than the route the other person who is averagely as good as you can do is going through. So it's just as simple as saying, I am walking on my feet to cover a distance to move from one city to another. Another person is flying on the plane from that same city I am taking off to another. The chances that the one on the plane you will land before I who is walking are times 100. If you don't understand the power of leverage, you will be like candidate A, who is smart, who is good, who has been putting in the effort over the past 6 years, who has been consistently proving that he is a better student. But when it matters the most, if you don't understand the power of leverage and maximize the use of that thing called leverage, at best, at best, you will be average. So, in a bid not to live a life that is average, you must begin to enhance the powers of everything that works for you as a leverage. I will keep it at this for today. In other sessions, we will discuss even deeper about how to uncover those things that are your own leverage points and how you can make good use of them to fulfill your purpose and to become financially free as at when due. There are so many words in that word itself, leverage. For instance, one of the interesting words in that word, leverage, is H, the last three letters. Leverage, when properly used, gives you results that even your age mate cannot achieve. So it makes you get results beyond your age will naturally give you. We have so many more words there that we will dissect one after the other and see how the power of leverage can take us from where we are to where we ought to be the moment we begin to capitalize on them. But till I come your way again, you know how I end it. I need you to stay financially sharp. I need you to stay financially fit. I need you to do whatever it is you know is both legally and morally right to become financially free. And to also make sure that on a day-to-day basis, you have a dream that keeps you up at night and keeps you going in the day to fulfill a purpose for which you were created. And by so doing, you will realize that you'll have achieved more with your life than you would have if you are not inspired. Till I come your way again, I need to stay sharp and remember that a generation is counting on you and you cannot afford to fail them. Bye. I love you.